Good afternoon and welcome to True Crime Mysteries. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we are discussing the murder of Dan Brophy, who was killed in cold blood by his wife, Nancy Cranston Brophy. This will be a multi-part series as it is a larger deep dive. There's a lot of trial coverage in this series and will follow a similar format to the Bonnie Haim deep dive. The other parts will come out as soon as possible, and I definitely recommend hitting the bell icon so you get a notification when the other parts are released. But without further ado, let's get into it. Can you ever truly know someone? What if you found out your spouse, who you trusted implicitly and never thought they would hurt you, had been fantasizing about your murder, possibly even for years? And this isn't advice of any sort, but if you were to murder your spouse, you certainly shouldn't write about it in a blog, detailing the innermost thoughts on exactly how one might carry out the attack and get away with it. Nancy Cranston Brophy did just that in 2011, penning the article, How to Murder Your Husband, and starting her article by saying, "As a romantic suspense writer, I spend a lot of time thinking about murder, and consequently, about police procedure. After all, if the murder is supposed to set me free, I certainly don't want to spend any time in jail. And let me say clearly for the record, I don't like jumpsuits, and orange isn't my color." When Nancy Cranston Brophy was initially arrested, it was felt by the Portland community. They had rallied behind her and supported her when her husband had been murdered. Nancy appeared to have been a devoted wife, and their marriage had seemed to be very solid. A couple nearing retirement seemed to be heading into the next chapter of their lives together. Her arrest made people question how well they really knew Nancy. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start from the beginning. It was early September morning on June 2nd, 2018 at the Oregon Culinary Institute located in downtown Portland, Oregon. A group of culinary students gathered outside the school, waiting for the building to be unlocked for class to begin. This was unusual, but not necessarily an immediate cause for concern. Normally their instructor, 63-year-old Dan Brophy, Chef Brophy, was first to arrive on campus and set up the classroom for the students. Saturday classes were a little bit different than the normal Monday to Friday. There weren't any office or administrative staff that worked over the weekend, and the school only ran 2 classrooms. It was usually only the weekend culinary arts instructor and the pastry instructor. There weren't even janitorial staff over the weekend due to budget cuts. This morning was a little more unique than most. It was a portion of the program called Live Fire Class, where near the end of the program, students would be setting up their school restaurant and opening up to real guests. It was something the students had been working towards for months and an opportunity to show off their skills. On these live fire class days, Dan would always come to school a little bit earlier than normal. In addition to his normal routine of opening up the kitchens, he would also make sure the students had everything they needed for a day doing restaurant service.
And so when you got to OCI that morning, do you remember around what time you arrived?
I believe I arrived around between 8 and 8:15.
And is that normal for you?
Yep. I believe our classes started at 8:30. And so we always had a few minutes to put our stuff away, get dressed and ready for our class and be in the classroom when it was time to start.
Okay. And when you say get dressed and ready, what do you mean by that?
We had a dress code of pants and a chef jacket and a hat and an apron. So we had to have all of those things on when the class started. So oftentimes people came either in street clothes and changed into it or, partial outfits and had to prepare themselves for that. So.
Okay. All right. And so when you arrived that morning and parked your car, you parked in that same parking lot you've described?
Yes.
And if you're able to, can you tell from looking at this which side of the board or the building the parking lot is on?
The top. So where it says student entrance Southwest Madison and then the garbage and recycling, that's where the parking lot was.
Okay. And so when you parked that morning, did you see anyone else? What did you do?
There were multiple students in the parking lot when I arrived, awaiting at that student entrance door.
And is that usual?
No, no. Usually they were outside of the door. The door was locked, and usually when we arrived, that door was already unlocked.
And which door are you referring to?
The student entrance, Southwest Madison.
Okay, the top of the board there?
Yep.
Okay. And you said there were a lot of students?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how many, but I remember that there were a group of us students waiting there.
And so did you get out of your car and wait with them?
I did, yeah.
Okay. And do you remember about how long you waited or what happened?
Not very long. We were there a few minutes. And then Chef Damon came to that door from the inside and let us in.
And do you recall if it was just pastry students or if there were culinary students?
It was both.
Okay.
Yep.
And so the door, when you say that door, are you referring to the student entrance?
Yes.
And you said she came from the inside?
Yes.
So she was in the building?
Yes.
Okay. And unlocked the door?
Yes.
All right. And did you see where she went from there?
No, I did not. No.
Okay. And where did you go?
Right into the student lounge with lockers, and there were round tables in the student lounge, and I remember exactly which table I went to.
And did you sit at it or?
I was standing there, had my bag and my box of supplies, and I was chatting with the other people in the room.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 4, if we can put up the screen. Oh, 5, excuse me. And if you can just pause it. And do you see that in front of you on the screen there?
Yes.
And can you tell us what we're looking at?
Excuse me. That is the student lounge.
Okay. And so it looks like there's a railing just to the
right.
The right. Mm-hmm. And what is behind you if you're facing
That's
this
the student entrance. Right behind me. If I was standing where the camera is, the student entrance would be right behind me.
Okay. And so then in front and kind of to the left, are those the tables you're referring to?
Yeah.
All right. At this time, I'd offered States Exhibit 5 and request permission to play for the jury.
No objection.
And we saw there in that video some other tables. And are those the tables you were talking about?
Yep.
And do you remember what part of that room you were standing in?
That first table, so it would be the one, the bottom right of the screen.
Okay.
That one, yep.
That one. All right. And you said you were talking to some other students?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to hand you what I have marked as States Exhibit 89. And that's just a smaller version of States Exhibit 1, which is up on the board.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also going to hand you a pen. That would have been helpful. Can you first write your name?
Sure.
On the bottom, and then can you mark on States Exhibit 9 where you entered the building and then where you went into the lounge that you've described? All right. Okay, and so you're in the lounge area at the table. What's the next thing that you remember?
The next thing I remember is a student, a fellow student yelling, "Call 911."
And did you know who that was, or could you see anyone?
She was in the culinary program. We weren't friends, but we knew each other by face, and I knew who she was.
And where was she when you heard that?
She was standing right outside of kitchen 1 and 2.
And do you see that green pointer kind of in front of you there? If you extend that, can you point on the big map where that was? About right here. And if you'll look on the TV also in front of you, is that same area?
Yeah, right. It'd be right where those mixers on the shelf are.
Okay. And when you heard her tell someone to call 911, what did you do?
I remember saying, "Are you serious? Do you really need someone to call 911?" And she said, "Yes." And so I picked up I think I had my phone in my hand already, and I dialed 911.
And when you made the call to 911, did you stay right there at that table, or where did you go?
No, I came to her to see what she needed, why she needed us to call 911. And I believe she said, there's a body in here. There's somebody on the ground.
And where was she referring to?
Kitchen 1.
Okay. And did you then go into kitchen 1?
I think I stood right at the doorway.
Okay. And during the course of your call with 911, did you stay in one spot?
No. I remember dialing and it didn't connect. So I remember dialing it again. And while I was waiting for it to connect, I was trying to find Sadie Damon, our chef. And so I was going through the building, trying to find her.
And were you able to find her?
Yes, she was in the guest restrooms.
And can you point for us where those are?
Yep. There. Yep, right there.
All right. And during the rest of that call, did you move around or did you go back to one place?
After she came out, I said, "We need you in the kitchen," and I followed her and I stayed in that kitchen. I believe until the paramedics came. I may have stepped out again and back in, but I remember being in the room almost the whole time.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to play State's Exhibit 23. No. And this one's been offered already this morning.
911.
Hi, we are at Oregon Culinary Institute, and there is somebody collapsed. One of our kitchens.
Okay, just one moment. And what's the address there?
What's the address? 1701. 17 what? Southwest Madison.
1701 Southwest Madison?
No, 1717 Southwest Jefferson.
1717 Southwest Jefferson?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, and...
He's one of our chefs, and he's an older man.
All right, is he conscious right now?
No, he is not conscious.
Okay, is he breathing?
No, he is not breathing.
Okay. And is anyone doing CPR?
Yes.
Okay, someone's doing CPR right now?
Yep.
Do they need instructions?
Do you need instructions, or do you need to...
Are they doing compressions only?
She's doing compressions, and I can switch out too if you need to, because I'm CPR certified.
Okay. All right, and do you know the cause of this, or what happened? Did he just collapse?
No, we have no idea. Somebody just found him on the floor.
Okay, so I just want you to continue doing those CPR compressions until help gets there. If you guys need
until help gets here.
Yeah, if you need to.
I'm just talking to the gal who's doing it.
Perfect. And if she gets tired and someone needs to take over, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Is there someone that could? Is there a side that the responders need to go to?
Yes, it's on the north side of the building. What is this? What street is this? Madison. It's on the Madison side.
Okay.
So yeah, go to Madison and
enter on the north side, on the Madison side?
Yep, on the Madison side of the building. It's the north side of the building.
Okay. And can you send somebody out there to show the responders where to go?
In the parking lot. Yep, there's a bunch of people in the parking lot.
Okay, perfect.
And I am too now. Yep.
Okay, and how old is he?
I don't know. I know that he's at least in his 60s or 70s.
Okay.
70s, I think.
All right.
That might be a little bit too old, but he's an older gentleman.
And he's one of the chefs there, head chef?
Yes. Yep. No, he's one of our instructors.
Okay. All right. Does he have any like heart issues that you know of?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't. He's not my instructor.
All right. And then can I get your first and last name?
My name's Katie Dooley.
And a phone number? All right. And I'm just going to stay on the line with you until
Stay on the line.
somebody gets there, okay?
Yep. Okay.
And someone else is putting in, it's the address is 17012 Southwest Jefferson.
I'm not sure. Keep going. Keep going. Do you want me to do it? Yeah. Okay. He's bleeding out of what? Okay. He's bleeding out of his chest.
Bleeding out of his chest? Okay.
Yeah.
Does he
just started bleeding.
Okay. Is someone still doing CPR?
Yes. No. Should keep going. The ribs are broken. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am.
Okay. All right. Is someone still doing anything or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's still doing compressions.
Okay. All right.
Does she need to continue?
Whatever she feels comfortable doing.
Whatever you feel comfortable doing. Do you want me to turn out? Do you want me to take a turn?
They'll be there. They're coming really fast. They'll be there any second.
They're going to be here any second.
I know. You're doing a good job. I know. You're doing a good job, okay? Someone's on scene right now. Is there someone out there? Okay, I know.
Okay, they're coming.
Do you see them?
Fuck. No, we don't.
Okay, I know. I know, Katie. You're doing a good job. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God.
Do you see any of the responders?
No, but they're getting him, but he's
okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Do you see the responders?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. They're coming. They went to the front.
They went to go get them? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the phone until you see them, okay? Is anyone doing compressions or you're...
No.
It's okay.
No,
I understand. It's okay.
Are they coming? Yeah. Okay, they're here.
Okay. All right. I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
It wasn't initially known what had caused Dan's collapse. Those at the school assumed it had been a heart attack or a stroke. Nothing else in the classroom had seemed out of place. Nothing looked ransacked. There wasn't any broken glass or open doors. And it was only when paramedics arrived that they were moving him and they saw blood that had pooled underneath his body. Paramedics looked for the source of the blood and were shocked to discover 2 bullet wounds. A further investigation of the room confirmed that when they found bullet fragments on the floor. The school was then locked down while the Oregon Police Department searched the building for the possibility of an active shooter or additional victims. Officers eventually cleared the building and it became clear that Dan BROPHY had been the only victim, who was declared deceased at the scene. Through interviews, they also learned that Dan normally arrived around 7:30 a.m. to set up the classroom, but he appeared to have been there earlier that day. Dan had been making coffee for the students and filling water jugs to keep them hydrated in the summer heat when he'd been shot. Paramedics noted that the sink had still been running when they arrived. Dan was shot once in the back and then once in the chest. Though they couldn't determine exactly which had been first, investigators theorized that Dan had been at the sink, leaned over, filling the water jugs with his back facing the door. They believe that he had been shot first in the back, and he spun around, faced the shooter, and then was shot again. Once the crime scene was deemed safe, officers started interviewing all the students at the school and going into the first phase of a murder investigation, which included notifying the victim's next of kin, which in this case was Dan's wife, Nancy. The following is the interview taken by the lead detectives on the morning of Dan's death at the Culinary Institute.
Detective Posey, and we're here also with,
Okay, Detective, do you recognize this audio?
Yes, that's Detective Posey talking right now.
Okay, and is this the recording of that death notification with Miss Nancy BROPHY
Yes.
on June 2nd, 2018?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll go ahead and play it.
I'm just going to do some introductions, so that it's all on the tape and everything. So I'm Detective Posey, and we're here also with Detective Merrill, and we're here with Nancy. And your last name, Nancy?
BROPHY.
Okay. And today's date is June 2nd, 2018, and it's approximately, 10:47 a.m. So Nancy, I know that I think some people kind of notified you that something was going on.
Just what they heard on the news.
Oh, okay. So it's already been on the news.
KGW said that there was a shooting, there was one fatality, and that the police showed up at 8:30, or they called at 8:30. I don't know.
I see. Okay. So Dan is your husband, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
And his name's Daniel.
C for Craig, BROPHY.
Oh, okay. And what time did he leave this morning from your guys' place? I'm assuming that he was at your house.
No, he was. He left, I'm going to say 7-ish. I mean, maybe 7:05, but somewhere in there. That's about the time he normally leaves.
Okay. Anything different this morning coming to work? Any kind of different?
We had a leak in our bathroom under the sink, and so we were dealing with that. But that was a different part.
Right. Were you guys up earlier this morning or anything?
He's up every
okay.
every morning.
He's an early riser.
And he is, and he has his little list of things he does. You know, he walks the dogs, he feeds the chickens, he does that kind of stuff.
Okay. Where do you guys live at?
Beaverton.
Oh, okay.
We're in unincorporated Washington County.
Oh, okay. So you guys got a little bit of property or something?
About a half an acre.
Oh, neat. Okay. So he probably left at the latest maybe 7:05 this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. And usually how long does it take him to get here?
Well, on Saturdays there's no traffic. On most Saturdays, you know. So I would say 10 minutes from our house, tops.
Okay.
You know, I think it's like 5.5 miles.
Oh, okay.
So,
do you know, or are you familiar with kind of how he does things when he comes to the location here? Like, is there anything in particular that that you're familiar with as far as, you know, what you know that is kind of his schedule of things that he does when he shows up here at work?
No. What I know is he comes in and he talks on the cards. He has 2 cards he brings in on the weekends, and or maybe he brings them in on Friday and takes them home on Saturday, and it's stuff he canned and spices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and it's in small enough quantities that if you're a starving student, you can buy, you know, a little patch of saffron rather than paying.
Yeah, right, exactly.
A lot of money.
Yeah, just what you need.
Right.
And when was he last here, besides this morning? When was the last time that he came in?
I would guess yesterday morning to set up the cart.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he came down for any other reason during the week. I mean, he kind of comes and goes on his own. I know where he's working when.
Errands,
yeah.
Right. Okay. But so he may have been here yesterday in the morning.
Yes, but it would have been early.
Okay.
It would have been really early.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And is he typically the first person that opens up in the morning?
No, Yadu is.
Yadu?
Yadu, why?
On Saturdays?
Yeah.
Or on Sundays?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I assumed it was. I think Yadu gets here in the middle of the night. Because it seems to me like Yadu is always here.
Oh, okay. And that's the cleaning guy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you know who he is. You've met him before. Okay.
Yeah, I know all these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the part you missed of the conversation. Dan's worked here for 12 years, maybe 13. Before that, he worked with his same group of guys over at Western. I mean, we've known these people for 25 years.
Right. You guys he's involved with the culinary kind of community, so to speak.
Right.
Is there, was there any kind of issues with Yadu or any kind of issues with anybody at the school?
You know how Dan is, Dan is not hail-filled or well met. I mean, we had no communication issues. I'm not trying to make it sound that way, but he's not a chatter. You know, he has a level of bullshit that's pretty low, and he just does not have, he doesn't, if we have a dinner party, he likes to cook, so he doesn't have to have that level of bullshit.
Oh, I see.
So, but if you get on a topic he cares about, yeah, he's got opinions, and he'll voice it. We did a culinary tour of Oaxaca. This must have been 2003, and we did this culinary tour, and we were with these same people for 13 days, and at the end of the 13 days, I don't notice he's quiet, but somebody said, I didn't think your husband ever spoke. And I thought, he talks all the time. But they didn't see it that way. And so here's the other thing. He doesn't harbor grudges. I mean, he truly doesn't harbor grudges. When he first went to work at Western Culinary, God, I'm going to have to tell you stories here. There was another chef that really disliked him, but the other chef was leaving, and they came around and said, well, he's leaving, and Dan threw him $5 for whatever they were collecting money. Right. And whoever was collecting it was really surprised. Said, I thought you guys didn't like each other. Dan said, he's just a guy with a different opinion than mine. And he just never, in 25 years of teaching, I have never heard him badmouth a student one time. Ever. And
so there's not any specific things that you know about that. Right. There's no like he was like, oh man, this person's really got it out for me, or none of that kind of.
And that wouldn't be how he thought anyway.
Okay.
Dan kind of is his own little world. God, that makes him sound incompetent. He's not.
I know. So I just want to let you know that we believe Dan. We believe it's Dan that has been killed. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got that when everybody gave me the sad sack look. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's our job to figure out what happened, and that's why we're talking to you.
Oh, sure.
Because you're part of the story, right? Of what took place, and so I just want to be straightforward and frank with you.
Good.
Is there anybody that you know of that wanted to do something to this to Dan? Everybody I've heard from so far is like, Dan's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
And students seem to like him and everything. So that's the question. It's like why would somebody do something?
Rouser. I mean, he is. He just. It took me 4.5 years to convince him to marry me. I mean,
he doesn't move real fast on things.
No, he is. But we had a great marriage.
Okay.
But the only people I know who have ever hated him was his ex-wife, and whose ex-wife doesn't hate the husband.
Right.
And I can't believe after 25 years she'd be motivated.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, short of that,
all right.
We live a quiet life.
Okay. What's the name of the ex-wife?
Perla, and I'm not sure what name she's going by. It's the last name, Perla.
Oh, Perla is her last name. Okay. And what's her first name?
That is her first. I'm sorry, Perla, maybe BROPHY, maybe Stillwater, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going by.
Gotcha. But
I can tell you this. Dan would have told me.
But that was like 25 years ago. Okay.
And we saw her 2 years ago when Nathaniel, his son, got married, and they didn't speak, but nobody drew a knife either.
You're right. Yeah, it was cordial. As far as
distant.
Yeah. Okay. But that was the last time that you know of that.
That's the only time that he's seen her in 20 years, maybe.
Okay.
So I don't think that's an issue.
Okay. And kids?
That's Nathaniel.
And that's the only kid that he has through her?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Any issues there?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no, Nathaniel's great.
Did you guys have any?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nathaniel's worked for me.
Okay.
No, Nathaniel's great. He's happily married to Kate. They have a 6-year-old child that Dan and I adore. And Kate's pregnant. We're all excited. So we're going to have a second grandchildren. I've got signs all over the house. Quit fooling around, Nathaniel. I want grandchildren myself. I don't have signs. I'm not that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what, and that's why I'm asking
Sure.
some of these kind of questions.
Can you
and
tell me
stuff.
what happened, as far as you know?
He was shot.
With an AR-15?
No, I don't know what he was shot with.
Oh.
But he was shot with a gun. Why do you say AR-15?
Because school shootings are all
Oh, no.
AR-15s now.
It happened, as far as I know, and I would ask that you keep this between us. At some point when he showed up here this morning, and so
But they didn't call. Where was Shadu? Why didn't they call the police before then?
that's what that's information that we're trying to kind of sort all of this out. I don't know.
Where was the other instructor? He doesn't teach alone.
Yeah, I know. The other instructor showed up after and found him. So that's what we're trying to sort out.
He was alone.
And that's why I'm kind of asking a little bit about, what
Sure.
were some of his, typical things that he would do in the morning. Did you ever accompany him coming into in here?
A couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 4, I was meeting a client in Washington, and they called me before I got there and said that I sell Medicare. And so it was somebody who needed help, but she wasn't feeling well, so they called and canceled. So I came back here and used the bathroom. But other than that, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to what are you doing.
Was he here by himself or with somebody?
I thought Yadu was here, but maybe not.
Was that a Saturday or a Sunday? Okay. All right. Got any questions?
Yeah. So, you just to make sure I got that last point, you said he came here just like a couple weeks ago just to use the restroom when your meeting was canceled?
Yeah, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I came and I went to the bathroom and I left. It wasn't that exciting. It was just faster than going to McDonald's.
Gotcha. So you didn't see
didn't
where
see
Dan was or what he was up to? Did you say hi to him or anything that time?
I said he opened the door for me.
Okay.
So the doors would be locked.
Okay.
The doors would all be locked. How did somebody else come in?
That's what we're working on. So I was going to ask you, does Dan own any kind of guns at all, or does he carry a gun at all for any reason? For protection or anything?
You're going to be so embarrassed. I'm kind of embarrassed. After the Marjorie Douglas Stoneman shooting in February.
After which one?
The one in February in Florida.
In Florida.
We talked about it, and I have kind of surveyed people, and everybody we know owns a gun except us. And I said, maybe we ought to buy a gun. And he said, okay. And so there was a gun show, and I went down and bought a gun. But here's the weird thing. When I got it home, I'm going to turn this off if you don't care.
Thank you.
When I got it home, I realized...
I don't know your home address.
Oh, hush.
Tap your name if you'd like to add it.
But I apparently skill level isn't me.
Oh, it's okay, too. It's time.
Okay, so I bought this gun. I got it home. We looked at it. And neither one of us wanted it. And so it's still on my closet shelf, and it still has that little plastic band around the shooter thing.
Yeah.
The shooter thing. There's a name for this.
Yeah.
And because we've never even bought bullets for it, you know.
Okay.
So yeah,
Is
we
it
have
a pistol or is it a
It's a
rifle?
Glock.
Okay.
And
It's a handgun.
It's a handgun. Yeah. It's not an AR-15.
It's not a rifle.
No.
It's a small gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's at home.
So it sits at home. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't even know how to get rid of it because Oregon has a law against. I'm not a gun dealer, so I can't sell it. So that was what we were talking about. What did we do to get rid of it? But
So why did you guys decide against having it? Because you just didn't. When you looked at it, it didn't.
it was heavy. Do you know how? Well, of course, you know how heavy a gun is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
it
it's
was
okay.
heavy and it felt terrible.
Yeah.
Handling it. It was like. It was just.
Just wasn't something you guys did?
No.
Yeah.
And real frankly, I couldn't imagine ever needing it. I mean, you kind of lived through 67 years and you think, well, I'm kind of there,
But Dan never took it out or brought it with him to school or anything. It's locked up at home still. As far as
I'm sure it is.
And would you guys keep it in like a box that you get? Did you guys get a gun box with it?
It came with the case.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think it's still the plastic bag we bought it in.
And what caliber is it? Do you know how they have a 40 millimeter, 9 millimeter, 40 or 45
9
caliber?
sounds right. 9
Maybe
sounds
a
right.
9? Okay.
And it's ugly.
Yeah. Is it all black?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you guys got that back in February after the school shooting in Florida, was Dan a little? You said you got that because you're talking that maybe that's something for safety for Dan here at the school, or just
no. We just felt like we were. Honest to God, I work with a bunch of riders. I'm a rider too, and I work with all these riders, and everybody has a gun. Even my mother-in-law has a stun thing, and I'm thinking, we are the only people in the world who don't have a gun. And I started kind of doing a survey, and it started around Thanksgiving because the family's all together, and everybody has guns but us. And I'm thinking, well, maybe we're wrong, but we got it and we weren't wrong,
Okay.
As far as Dan's phone,
yes.
Does he? Do you know what his password is?
Yes.
Okay. Can we have that?
987-987-7600.
And what kind of phone does he have?
It's the same. It's exactly like mine.
Okay. All right.
Which kind's yours? Apple, iPhone,
6.
iPhone 6.
Okay.
So you guys have the same account together?
Yes.
And what's his phone number?
503-701-5427. My number is very similar. I have to think about it.
Okay. Did he send you any text messages or?
I texted
calls?
him, and that was part of the reason why
When did you text him?
After Maxine called me.
Oh, okay.
Maxine called me, and I texted him, and when I didn't get a response, everything in me said, this isn't right. This isn't right. And so I came down.
And who's Maxine?
Maxine is a teacher who teaches here on Sundays. Maxine Borcherdine.
Okay.
And I think she teaches a wine class.
Oh, okay. What did your husband usually teach?
God, he's taught for 25 years.
Was there any particular?
He taught T2. T2.
Oh, okay.
So the segments are broken into 4 T's. Mm-hmm. And the first one is kind of get to know your knives, learn stuff. His was on basic cooking. Was on. They had live fire, which was, you're in a restaurant essentially, and you have to fire 5 entrees within a certain amount of time. And live fire was kind of the nightmare day.
Right, because there's a lot of people trying to do stuff, and right.
But he's a fun instructor. I mean, he did things like he would take the class to the course. He would take his class to the coast for a negative tide, and he would do a negative intertidal. He took a mushroom hunting. They went to the salt place down on the coast. He was a fun guy, and he was really nice. He really didn't dislike anyone.
What was his schedule for the current session that he was teaching? My understanding is working Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes.
Okay. What was he do? Does he do anything in the rest of the week?
we have a friend, Tanya Medlin, and she is about a year and a half ago. She's at Avamere Rehab, and she was desperate for a weekend cook at that point. And Dan said, "I'll come in and help out," and he just continued to be on the schedule ever since. And so, usually 2 days a week, but for some reason right now he's working a little more there.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes it's morning, sometimes it's evening. I've got a schedule written out.
Oh, okay.
So,
at some point, maybe you could get that to me.
sure,
On my business card there is my email address.
perfect. I'll send it
If
to
you
you.
can email that
Yeah.
scheduled to me just so I have
It's
it.
basically Thursday nights, Friday nights, but there's a couple of random days. And so he goes in at 2 and he's off by 7.
Okay. So it's short little.
Yeah.
He's teaching a class and
No, he's truly cooking.
Oh, he's cooking. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
And I think he enjoys it because he doesn't, for me, he gets to cook again.
And where was that place that he was cooking at?
It's on Allen Boulevard at Lombard.
Okay. And what's the name of it?
Lombard. It's Avamere Rehab.
Avamere Rehab. Okay.
And,
It's a restaurant.
It's a rehab
Yeah.
facility.
Oh, it's a rehab facility.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And what's it, Admo Beer? Is that what you said?
Avamere. Avamer.
Okay. Admo
Okay.
Do you want Tanya's phone number?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's your phone number first?
503-701-5612.
Thank you. It's Tanya Medlin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why I hesitated there is I've known her since she was Tanya Glowa, and sometimes I have to stop and think my friends all changed their names at one point or another in their lives.
Okay. I texted that in for the Aaron, but he hasn't gotten back to me. But
Let's just answer this and move along. Okay. Tanya. Contacts. Tanya. Medlin. Here, come on, Nancy, you can do this. Here we go. 503-1384.
thank you. Do you have a second if I ask a question?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know if you were still on.
No.
Okay. Just another question. What kind of vehicles do you guys drive? You guys each have your own vehicles?
He
or-
has a white truck that's out here,
Okay.
and it's a Toyota 2010 pickup. It's a Tacoma,
Oh, okay.
and I have a Toyota van.
Like a minivan?
No, yeah,
Or a,
yeah.
Okay.
A Sienna,
A Sienna, okay. What color is that?
gray.
Okay. And what year is that one? Roughly?
2007.
Got it.
They're both paid for, and there's a point where you'd rather drive an older car that's paid for than
That's the way I would do
payments.
it. Yep. And I was going to ask you, when you said Dan woke up, he's an early riser, has his routine, walks the dog, feeds the chickens. So this morning, did you wake up at the same time or after him, or how'd that go?
I didn't sleep well, and I don't
Okay.
know why I didn't sleep well, but I think that I'm to that age. So I woke up when he came up for a shower. So that would have been 6:50, 6:45.
And you said because he was getting a shower, that's when you woke up? Okay.
And he used to shower downstairs, but last week you'll see stitches on his hand. See it? I don't know which hand. Because last week in the shower, our shower door shutters. He's not having a good week. Oh, that sounded good.
He got stitches in his hand from the shower door?
It's glass, and it just
okay.
shattered into 9 million little pieces.
Really? Oh, no.
And
Which hand was that?
I think it was his right hand.
So right hand should have
I went
stitches?
to the emergency room with him.
Okay.
No, it was his left hand. It was his left.
Oh.
You'll see.
You've been painting?
Okay. So yesterday we went to a rummage sale, and I found this really cute little toy thing, and so I put primer on it, and I thought I'd paint it for my granddaughter.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that was really observant of you.
I just know when you talk about stitches on your hand, I thought you were going to show me like which hand. So you think it was his right hand though?
I think it was his left hand.
Or left. Do you know how many he got?
3, I think.
Okay, so not too bad. And then, so after he got his shower this morning though,
yeah, he managed to. He didn't need a spotter.
Okay. So, and then when did you see him after that? Did you have breakfast with him? You know, I mean, what happened after that?
I didn't get out of bed.
Oh, you just kind of woke up and you were alert in bed.
Yeah, okay. And we have our bedroom is an attic. Was an attic, and so the bathroom's right here, and so you know, he got dressed and left.
Did he say? Did you guys talk before he left or anything like that?
About the water leak.
Oh.
And I discovered it yesterday when I was cleaning out from under the sink, and so he asked me what all the wet cloths were in the sink, and that was when I remembered it. And so he went down to get something to put under the sink, so if it was still leaking, that it wasn't, you know, it wouldn't ruin it.
Okay. And so then you think he left like around 7 to 10, maybe, something like that?
7:05, 7:10,
7:05, 7:10, okay. And then the next thing you know after that is when did you hear something?
Maxine called me.
Is that the text you guys were talking about? I think I missed that, that's why, okay.
Okay, so Maxine called me. Come on, Nancy. Okay. So, I guess either this is the first time or the last time, but it was all right within a 10-minute period, so 10:09.
And you guys talked on the phone?
She said, what do you know about what's going on at OCI? And I said, I don't know anything. What's going on? And she said, well, it's on the news. And I said, okay. And she told me what she had heard. And she works for Potluck in the Park. So Potluck in the Park had called her. And she was on her way down here at that point, but didn't come because to set up her class for tomorrow.
So Potluck in the Park, is that around here? Or?
Okay, so this is the corner up here. This is OCI. This is Potluck in the Park. It's like directly diagonal. Mm-hmm.
So they called her to ask her to tell her about this incident?
Sure. Gossip spreads quickly.
Maxine, does she work here? Okay, do we know her name yet? Or don't?
I don't know if I have her name yet.
Maxine.
BORSCH, I think. ERDINE.
Okay. And then do you have her number handy?
Of course.
Okay.
My whole life is on this phone. Oops, stop. Okay, I gotta go back because I'm. Oh man. Come on, Nancy, think.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, her phone number is 503-46.
She works right over there. You think she's working over there right now?
Oh, no.
Oh.
She's at home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She used to work with them all the time, and I've heard a rumor, but she hadn't confirmed it with me that she wasn't with them anymore. So I think, you know, it's a donation. It's a volunteer thing, and like everything else in the world, it's political.
Yeah. Darren, would you like me to do one of these for the pickup truck?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Make sure we do that. You want?
Sure, I'll just do it. So, obviously, what this is just a search by consent.
Oh,
and
sure.
we're just asking for your permission to be able to search Dan's truck and go through that.
And clean out the trash.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
But I want to just put that on there as well.
Yeah.
Just to cover it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that down here as far as the info on the and the phone too. Correct.
I don't have a key with me, but he's got a key, obviously. But I can get you an extra key if you need it.
Okay.
I know this is selfish, but what am I going to do without him? How am I going to get through?
It's not selfish. No, don't you worry.
You know, I should be worried about him, and all I could think about is, oh my God.
Yeah, take one step at a time, okay?
I know. I'm sorry.
Just take it slow, and you know, there's nothing you can. There's not a lot of things you can do right now. Your mind's going a million miles per hour. You want to do all these things, but you just gotta take a deep breath. You got family on the way, correct?
And my father-in-law's coming.
Okay. And you need to seek support from your loved ones right now, okay? And just take it slow, okay? You need to be with your loved ones and your family right now. As soon as we get done here, we have a person outside that works with tips for traumatic incidents that can help you with any resources to see if you need anything they can assist you with, okay? You're going to have our business cards. We gave you those. And if we can help you in any way, we're going to be working real hard on this right now. You know that. But if you need anything,
but
you can call
here's
us.
the terrible thing. Okay? Even if you find who shot him, he's not going to bring him back. And I want him back. That's the part I want. I don't care about who shot him. I just want him back. I don't want him dead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
So, just try to slow down a little bit and try to breathe, and we'll get through this part, and you can be with your family, okay? Thank you for your patience, too.
Oh, no, it's not like I was doing anything else.
Well, I know.
Probably the wrong thing. So.
No, this has got to be extremely difficult. I have no idea what you want through.
Do you need a photo of him?
I don't think so.
Wouldn't mind seeing one. Yeah, do you have one we can look at?
He's so cute. On his phone, when you flip it over, there's a picture of him with the rooster. That's his favorite picture.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have a photo here? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go get that for you.
I thought I did.
No,
do I need to sign?
Oh, yeah, just sign there that it's okay for us to search the vehicle.
Oh, here he is. So this is when we were in Sook Harbor House in Victoria. And
wow, that is quite the bolo tie.
yeah, well, yes. He's got a whole collection.
Does he?
Uh-huh.
Is that, it's real turquoise, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
Uh-huh. I think he got that when we were in Santa Fe on vacation. And this was Victoria.
Oh, So I'm just putting the date and the time that you signed.
Okay.
But you got 11:20.
Hey, did you get my text? Okay. Okay, what's got the password? The phone. Okay, all right. It's an iPhone 6. The phone number I gave you with a passcode number. Okay. What do you mean? Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So we can do what we need to with it. So first, and then you can. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. I got to run. I'll talk to you. Bye.
All right. I just put the info in there. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Appreciate that. And I don't know if we'll need the key at this point in time. I might be handy to get that at some point.
The extra key?
I don't have it with me, but I can get it.
I just don't know if, I don't know where the other set of keys are at. So, I mean, if
they'd be in a pocket or nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about a lot of stuff, but is there anything that we didn't ask you that you think's important we should know about? Anything that might anything he might have mentioned in just passing about somebody hanging out by the plate? You know what I mean? Just some weird, there's a lot of transients around here. I'm going to be very honest with you. I think you know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anything he talked about?
I used to be the caterer for Temple Beth Israel, and we used
Did you?
to say it had a high mutant factor in that neighborhood. And this neighborhood was not exempt.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say anything to me. And when I tell you he kind of operated in the tunnels, he really did. You know.
Hey, what about coffee? Would he come and get his morning coffee anywhere?
Tea? No, here.
Tea?
No. Okay. Okay, here's his routine. I didn't even think about this till you just said that. Somewhere in there you're going to find a big plastic glass that is filled with tea, loose tea. And so he would have that in the morning, and then he'd take it to work with him because.
What does it look like? The one that he usually takes.
It's sometimes blue and yellow, or I think blue or yellow.
Okay.
And it's just it's a huge glass.
Okay.
And he drinks that all morning long, and it's his specialty. It's that Lapsang Susong.
Does he put any milk or anything in it? No. Just
Sugar. And actually Splenda probably. Yeah.
Does he carry culinary equipment like his
Knives?
own knives or anything?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, he carries stuff all the time, but it's instructor stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he typically leaves his instructor stuff here at the place. He wouldn't necessarily have his own
He would
set.
have a red book bag type of thing with him, and the red book bag would be his.
Okay, so red book bag, that would be his, just stuff that he's got for the day or whatever.
Sure, I have no idea, but I'm sure
that's
it's all.
what he uses usually.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like a briefcase or some other kind of bag. It's a red book bag.
He is so low key.
No, that's fine. I know, but we just want to be able to
identify what he would have had.
what he's got as far as personal effects in there.
What about with his credit cards, wallet, cash? What kind of wallet would it look like?
It's a brown leather wallet, and that would have driver's license, a couple of credit cards, probably, his Kaiser card.
You guys have Kaiser insurance?
He has Kaiser.
Oh, okay.
I have Medicare, and he's turning 64 this month, so he's not old enough yet for Medicare.
I see.
But he has Kaiser through work, employee benefits.
What, do you remember what credit cards? Did you have an ATM card or anything?
He's got a Wells Fargo card and a Bank of America card. And the Bank of America card is on his business account, so it probably says Odonata Foods. And the Wells Fargo card is on his personal account, and it probably says BROPHY, Daniel C. BROPHY.
And what was the business again called?
Odonata. O-D-A-N-T-A.
A-N-T-A.
That isn't right.
Okay.
O-D-A-N-A-T-A. Odonata.
Odonata, and then what else?
Odonata, what is it called? Odonata Business Consulting. I think it's called Odonata Business Consulting.
Okay. Would he ever carry any cash on his person?
Yes.
How much usually?
Well,
Or how much this morning?
I don't know, because he would have taken money out of the pig. When you see the carts, there's a pig. It's an honor system thing, and so he would have taken the money out of the pig.
Oh, okay.
And he would come down and check it every
so often.
Every so often, so that
So he has a cart that basically he sells some basic spices and things that people kind of need and whatnot. And on that cart, there's a little pig that people put the money in for buying whatever spices or whatever items that they buy off of his cart.
Right.
It's something that sits inside the building.
It's back in the schoolroom, in the kitchen. There's a...
Yeah.
You've been back there?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, so there's two carts. One is a wooden cart, and one is a blue plastic cart.
Okay.
And they're both his.
Okay. And how much money? I mean, I know you wouldn't know, but I mean,
He was so excited one time because he got $80.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know, I would say it goes 0 to 40 would be more realistic.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because, you know, look, $80,
Right.
is, let's pay off the house.
What did the pig look like? Is it like a little ceramic piggy bank type thing?
Yeah,
What you mean?
this big.
What color?
I think orange. No,
Okay.
wait, maybe, I don't know, maybe pink. Maybe purple? Purple, maybe? I don't know, apparently.
And just when you say this big, you're saying basically like a couple of fist size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just doing that because it's recorded. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
This big, you can get that.
What about jewelry? Do you have any expensive rings or necklaces or watches or anything like that?
Oh, he would have worn a watch, but no rings. But, you can't really wear a ring and be a chef. And if you say the students can't wear one, then you can't wear one,
Okay.
But he would have worn a watch, and he wasn't a necklace kind of guy.
Okay. But he does have bolo ties.
Yes, he does.
Quite a collection.
Yes, he does.
Bolo ties.
Oh, okay.
I showed pictures.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Anything else you think of?
Not at the moment. I think we've gotten this.
Thank you
the
all. I'm
schedule of
much
things.
calmer now. Thank you. And I think it was because you all were so calm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I am too.
Sorry.
And
I don't even know how my life is going to go.
And just take one step at a time. That's the main thing. One day at a time, one step at a time. We're gonna have Nicole come and talk with you. She's the TIPS volunteer person, and they're here to just kind of help you out. And like my partner said, they have some resources, which check into those things. Obviously, right, it's going to typically, the next couple of days, it's going to be hectic. And here's the other thing: is given the circumstances, the news media is going to be involved in this. And so, and this is just for you. You can talk to them if you want to. You don't have to. That's up to you. I'm just kind of letting you know that because of that situation, right? They're going to be involved with what's going on, and there's going to be a lot of stuff on the television. Just so you know. So I just kind of preparing you because I want you to at least understand that it's going to get. There's going to be, and who knows what kind of information is going to get put out there. Don't let that trouble you. First of all, we do go through all of that stuff, and it's our job to work through what's actually going on with what happened. Of course, if you know something or you find out something and you're concerned that maybe we don't know about it, always feel free to give me a call. If I don't pick up the phone, you can leave me a message and I will get back with you. But feel free to do that because we work for you. We are working for you. Our goal here is obviously to find out what happened. Our goal is also, as police officers, is to hold accountable whoever did this. That's our job. And so, we try very hard to work for you because this is your loved one. This is the person that cared for you and helped you. And so I know that nothing that we do will bring him back, and we're very sorry about that. But at the same respect, we don't want this to happen to somebody else, right? No. And have some other family go through this difficulty. And so that's what we're here about, is justice for Dan and for you. And so we want to find out, and our job is to find out what happened. At some point, we may know all of what happened. We may not ever know completely what happened. That sometimes happens. But I just preparing you so that you understand that sometimes this is a long process that takes time to sort out what happened, right? Everybody's life connects with different people in different situations. Even though you're married to someone, right? He has contacts with people and stuff, and like you said, he's sometimes quiet about things, and maybe he didn't share something that was going on with some other situation, right? So I will do my best to explain things to you when I know them, and I can explain things to you. There's certain things that I will hold onto for a while, just because, given that we're conducting an investigation, right? There's certain things that we need to keep to ourselves, so that we protect the investigation, so that we can, make sure that, like, when we talk to somebody else, we're getting the information that they actually know, not something that got leaked out. You know what I mean? We want to try to keep all of that as secure as possible, so that we find out the truth. That's what it's about. We're not keeping secrets. We're just holding on to the information. So I just want you to understand. Yeah. Sometimes I can answer some questions. Sometimes I may not be able to, but eventually we will do the best we can to find out exactly what took place, so that you understand. You know it, right? And what you do with it is up to you. You don't have to share that with anybody, but just be aware that news media, they have a job.
I know they do, but I don't want to share my grief with them.
Yeah, exactly, and most people don't. But just be aware that given the nature of what's taken place, that's something that is out there going on, and sometimes for some, sometimes it's easier to not watch the news. Just be aware. How best you can deal with that stuff. But I just kind of want to give you the heads up.
I'm usually happier.
Hang on a second, I'm in the interview. Let me call you right back.
Anyway,
okay.
But I just wanted to let you know.
And I'm following I write romantic suspense, and so in one of the stories, the girl who knew too much told the wrong guy. So because you're an author, and you can make that happen.
Right. Exactly.
So here's the question I'm just realizing: where is he now?
He's in the building.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So he has to stay till the medical examiner. Okay.
This is what's going to happen.
Okay.
We're going to do a lot of pictures. We're going to do search for evidence inside the building, in his truck. We're going to, our process, it takes a long time. So there's a lot of things that we're going to do. We're going to take measurements, talk to all of the students and stuff that are, involved, with being here, how, all of that. So all of that's going to take a long time. And eventually, once we get done with pictures and pertinent evidence around where he was at, the medical examiner will take him, and then he'll get transported to the Oregon medical examiner's office, which is in Clackamas, and then they will perform an autopsy, so that we can understand, any of the other dynamics with regards to, what happened and how it happened. So that's kind of what's going to happen at this point in time. I mean, that's the general
I assume eventually
function.
They release the body.
Yes, yes, and they will contact you about that. Yes,
me, okay.
We will give them your name and information, so that they can do that, and they will let you know all of that information when that takes place.
Okay.
That pretty much cover that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, an actual deputy medical examiner comes out here and assists us with the investigation. Mm-hmm. And like my partner said, they ultimately, by state law, take possession of Daniel after we're done with the evidence collection and everything we can do to try to figure this out, like Darren said. So, but again, this is one step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Don't. You know, we're going to be doing our jobs, so you don't need to.
I know.
Yeah.
To overwhelm yourself too much, but you have our numbers. If you think of something, you can call us.
I will.
Leave us a message, and we'll call you right back as soon as we can.
Okay. I just can't imagine who would want to kill him. You know, he wasn't that kind of guy. You know, I mean, he wasn't the kind of guy who got involved in anything. I mean, like that. You know, I've never even known him to have a confrontation with anybody.
Okay. Was he bringing anything to work today specifically that you knew about? Okay.
And I wouldn't know that.
Okay.
You know, Dan is kind of, he has piles of thing. He has piles of stuff he brings in, piles of stuff he brings home. I mean, I was at home this morning and I discovered all this food in the den, and I looked at it and I knew it was chicken food, but tell me why we need it in our den. But, you know, he's just that kind of guy, you know, and he's pretty independent, and he's a wonderful guy. He really is a wonderful guy. Oh, man.
Okay. Should we just, yeah, we're
okay, I'll turn that off.
So we're going to stop
11:39. Does that sound right?
11:39, yep.
11:39, quarter off.
The crime scene gave little indication of what had happened or why. Robbery had made the most sense, but Dan's keys were located in the room, his wallet was on him, and he also had a small bag of cash that he used for a little snack box he had for the students. Students could buy little treats or snacks off of Dan, and he would collect the money or paper IOUs. It was a little something extra he did for the students. The second route of the investigation was that maybe a disgruntled student or person may have wanted to hurt Dan. But when investigators spoke to those around him, nearly everyone said the same thing. Dan was a kind and dedicated teacher. He taught many students in his career and several different generations of chefs in the Portland area, which included the president of the OCI, who had worked under Dan decades earlier. Many people stated that Dan would have given the shirt off of his back to someone who needed it and used his skills to help others in the community. He volunteered at a soup kitchen, he repurposed unused ingredients from the culinary program to ensure nothing was wasted. Dan was passionate about teaching sustainability in the food industry and really talked the talk and walked the walk. This was a person who virtually had no enemies. He would also keep in contact with students and follow their careers. He would help students find jobs and call in personal favors to help out wherever he could. But based on the evidence, it had seemed like the attack had been targeted. He'd been the only victim. It happened at a time when it was known he was usually alone. Detectives could not find a single individual who held a grudge or a bad feeling towards him. In general, Dan BROPHY seemed very well loved within the community. The third avenue for investigators to look at was to look closer into Dan and Nancy's marriage. Though it is impossible to predict how someone will react to the devastating news of the murder of a loved one, Nancy's reaction has raised eyebrows. Had this woman, who was sitting in front of them, just killed their husband in cold blood? This is where we are going to wrap part 1. In the next part, we will go into Dan and Nancy's marriage and their life together, and their financial situation, which may indicate a motive to his murder. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this content and what I do over here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. If you could give a like if you enjoyed the content and want to support the channel, that would be much appreciated. We also have channel membership as well as Patreon if you want to get more behind the scenes content. And if you want to support the channel, we have Patreon and channel membership. In the description box of this video, you will also find links to all my socials to connect with me, as well as other goodies. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. That's it for me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.